to another episode of Desire to Inspire, your mama's favorite podcast. I am excited for today's conversation. I don't know if Dylan is, but we're going to jump into it with some life updates and some things that we've been alluding to that we haven't dove deep into. What are your thoughts, Dylan?
I'm not looking forward to it. I think it's going to be okay.
Well, good. How's the weekend treating you?
Kind of rough. I'm not going to lie. Kind of rough. It's kind of doing me a little dirty here.
Still congested from the race?
Dude, I don't know what's going on, but yeah, it's pretty freaking horrible.
Yeah. I think there's something going around because there's been people at work that have been talking about it as well. And especially somebody's wife, I think, has something really bad that sounds similar to you.
Yeah, I've congested. I got a cough. I don't know what's going on, but we're here.
We're here, baby, and that's all that matters. So as you guys know, there's been some conversation about possibly the DTI boys coming together and living in the same neighborhood, same facility for the first time in about 10 years. I mean, it's been a long time. And prior to this, just so people know, is Dylan and I didn't really have the relationship that we do now. So it'll be interesting to see. We kind of just cross paths when we would hang out with each other through mutual friends. So I'm excited to have us both in the same area, being able to work on our dreams and desires together. Now that we'll call it next door neighbors. It's not that close, but it's close enough.
It's not like it's definitely a lot closer than 22 hours away.
That is a fact. So what's brought up this change? Why is North Carolina now the new destination point?
Well, I mean, we kind of spoke on it. So, as you all know, single again. So, I mean, that was pretty much the big catalyst here. Was once that happened, it was like, okay, well, now I'm out here by myself. We kind of like made the move together. So it's like, what am I going to do next? And Denver's not really a cheap place to live by yourself. So it was either going to have to be like, I need to like really figure something out. I was looking to like downgrade to, I literally looked up like my apartments and what it would be for a 1-bedroom. It's like a $70 difference from a 1 to a 2-bedroom.
Oh, wow.
I was like, why would anyone ever live in a 1-bedroom?
Yeah. 1-bedroom apartments, both in Dallas and here in North Carolina, are just ridiculously expensive.
It's everywhere, man. I think it's everywhere. It's just insane. But so I was looking at a few options, and we have another friend who has been looking to make a move to North Carolina. So I just basically hit him up like, hey, you want a roommate? And it literally just kind of went from there. Like, I really didn't even like consider anywhere else, I guess, besides here, obviously, because I'm already here and it would just be easier.
Yeah.
But there's no chance I'm going back to Ohio.
Yep.
I had some people trying to push that one. That one ain't happening. So with that being said, it was pretty easy decision for North Carolina. I mean, obviously you're there, so it's just going to be easier for us to kind of do everything that we want to do. It's not very easy to do apart.
Yeah.
I think it's also like harder to find the motivation, like when you're just kind of by yourself. But being together, I think it's going to be a much smoother process. And I think we're going to be able to get a lot of shit done that like we don't even know about yet.
Yeah. No, I'm excited to take everything that we've kind of refocused this year, but like drive into it a little bit more because again, it's easy for us to like talk on the things that we want to do. But I think being together here not only will motivate us. I don't think we need the motivation in terms of like doing it, but like being able to be more creative, being able to like actually fully invest in it, having multiple days a week where we get together and we just discuss things and talk and work on things, or even going to the events out here in Charlotte to be able to spread the word about it. I think there's going to be a lot of big benefits that come from it, even though it kind of derived from a shitty situation.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. We'll kind of get into that. But I do think that you're right. Like, it's not necessarily a motivation thing that's needed. But like, as like we're together and things are more creative and it's a more cohesive thing, I think it's going to be more, maybe motivated, it's not the right word, but like more inspiring. It's like, okay, like now like we have some momentum here and like we're starting to enjoy the things that we do. It's just going to push us to want to do more. Where I feel like a lot of times I can get pretty easy, like, okay, like let me set these things to do and I do them and like it's the bare minimum, but I'm like checking boxes, where I feel like it's going to be a lot more elaborate and like things just we're going to be able to do more,
Hmm.
essentially. I don't know what that more is yet, but I'm excited to find out.
We'll definitely figure it out. What are some of the things you're excited about or not excited about moving to Charlotte? How do you think it's going to be in terms of like transition to lifestyle, things you focus on, or what this area might bring to you that you're excited about?
That's kind of a hard one for me to answer because I don't really know the area that well, which, maybe somebody should be saying when they're about to move somewhere. But I've literally visited twice, and both times it's like we've had other shit going on. So like the one time I was barely even there because we were at the race for the whole thing.
Yeah.
But now we'll start with like what I'm not excited about, which is just the move in general. I
Hmm.
fucking hate moving, and cross country moving is the worst. So at least I have some movers set up, but me and Ziggy still got a 22-hour drive that we got to make happen. So that's what I'm really not looking forward to. But that's really like the only thing I'm not looking forward to. Everything
That's
else,
good.
like I'm excited about. I'm excited for a change. I've been in Denver for 2 years now, and I don't necessarily know if like this would be a forever place if I was by
Hmm.
myself, anyways. Like I said, we
Yeah.
kind of made the move out here together. It was like a joint decision, and so now it's just like I don't know. It's kind of weird. I mean, I'm still enjoying myself right now, but I'm definitely ready to try something new. So I
Yeah.
don't know exactly what that's going to be in Charlotte, but I think like lifestyle wise, I don't think things are going to change that drastically for me. I pretty much like keep my routine in place, but I also big preacher of balance. So we'll see what Charlotte's nightlife is like.
So you keep saying we. Obviously, you're referring to you, and I mean, I think that is
Mhm.
something that you also wanted to touch on, because that kind of was a snowball into the next like hurdles that came about in
Yeah.
terms of a timeline. So I didn't know if you wanted to touch on any of that, because I do know that you said that you wanted to expand it on at some point.
Yeah. I mean, I'll kind of give a gist, and then obviously, if questions, feel free to shoot them out because I don't know like how in depth I'll get. Like,
Yeah.
basically, it came out of nowhere for me. We had been in Ohio for a couple weeks, and then it was like we came back, and like literally the next day, it kind of got dropped on me. It was more proposed as I need to. Originally, was hey, I'm going to get an Airbnb for a week. I need to kind of figure some shit out, and then it immediately turned into the next day like I'm moving back to Ohio for like an assignment, and then I'm going to go from there. So it was like very quick, and I was like, whoa. And like so obviously like I don't know like what to think in that moment. But I will say like it's the most mature breakup I've ever had. We're still on good terms. Like I have no ill will. Like I would rather I've always said since the very beginning, like of us being together, like if you are not 100% happy, you need to go. Like
Hmm.
I'm not going to be able to do that for you. So like if you are genuinely unhappy, like I don't want to keep you in a relationship that is just it's not going to be good for anybody. It's only going to get worse. So while it's a difficult thing, it's also like I'm glad like that you did it now before like things do get worse and like we can still be in a decent place.
Hmm.
But one thing that I mean we've kind of touched on this. So I was engaged before, another long-term relationship. These are really like my only two like I would say relationships really. Like everyone else has been like very fleeting like little like hookup type shit. It's not like anything substantial. So the one thing that I said after my last one though was that like my last one is kind of what drove me to like this point in the first place. I got very like self-destructive in that time.
Hmm.
So I told myself then that like I would never do that again. Like I I think this is why I have the outlook that I do. I basically said that I will never let someone else define my happiness. They can add to it, but like at the end of the day that we broke up, sure like I'm heartbroken, but like I wasn't unhappy. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like I was depressed and like, what the fuck am I gonna do? It was
Hmm.
more like, it kind of is what it is. And I feel like that's anything in life, you just kind of have to take it for what it is. So it was weird because I feel like everyone was kind of looking at me like, yo, how are you doing? Like, are you okay? And I feel like I haven't really like not been okay the whole time.
Hmm.
So I'm proud of the way that like I was able to like build up my mindset, I guess. So I don't know. It's definitely been a transition and it's been a change, but it hasn't been anything, I guess, overwhelming or like it has been in the past.
Yeah. You say self-destructive from like your first relationship. Is that just solely a mindset thing, or when that first breakup happened versus this one, did you let everything go? Your physical health, your mental health,
Yeah,
and how?
that's like when I got to. I think I'd already started to let my physical health go in some
Hmm.
capacity, just out of comfortability. But that's when it got real bad. That's when I was drinking heavy. That's when I was sleeping around. That's when I was just pretty much like there was no structure at all. It was eat like shit, drink, and just pretty much there was no pretty much complete 180 of my life now because like there was no positive inputs at all. Like everything was just like whatever.
Yeah. What do you think, or how do you think you keep this mindset going through? Because there's so many people, I mean, even people I know that are in relationships that are extremely unhappy or that have been in something. It doesn't even have to be, it could be a job, whatever. What do you How do you tailor your mindset to be able to move through these like changes in life that are honestly some of the biggest things? I mean, the person you're living with, the person you say you love you to, the person you're going to bed with. How do you keep that mindset, and like what do you use as motivation to just keep moving forward in the right direction like you have been extremely well throughout this?
I don't know if I necessarily use anything as motivation to get through it, but I mean, it's kind of like I said. I just I don't want any outside factor to like define like what makes me happy.
Yep.
So I think it's just like kind of keeping that top of mind that like at the end of the day, like everything else is the same. Like I can still do everything. Like there's still people that fucking love me. Like it's not the end of the world. It might seem like it in the moment, but it's really not. Like
Hmm.
you've been here before, you've navigated this before. You're not the first person to go through a breakup. Like be happy like that it's amicable and like it wasn't cheating or it wasn't this. You know what I mean? Like there's
Yeah.
a lot of negative things that it could have been. So I guess like just kind of focusing on it sounds corny, but like just focusing like on everything that is good in your life. Because it's
Yep.
very easy to like just focus on the one thing that's bad, but everything else in my life is still going good. So why
Hmm.
am I gonna let the one thing? Sure, it's a very big thing. Like I'm not. I don't want to discredit that fact because I know it is hard for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But like at the end of the day, like it's not gonna kill you, and you're not the only person going through this. There's people going through way fucking worse.
Yep. I think that statement, and I'm not at all relating these two things. So do not twist up my words saying I am. But when my father passed away, that like to me was that one time in life where like I thought it was over. I was
Yeah,
like, the guy that meant the most to me, the guy I looked up to, my fucking Superman, like all of these things. How do I keep going in life without him? Knowing that my life is at a pivotal point of like transitioning from a kid and taking everything he taught me
yeah,
to now being an adult and using what he taught me in manhood. And at that time, I couldn't see anything else. And I was like, I don't know how I'm going to get through this. I'm going to hold strong for my family, this and that. And then there came a point where I hit rock bottom and I was like, you know what? Like, it is fine. Everything's going to be okay. But, and this is how I'm going to tie the two together. I had to then put in my head that no matter what else happens in life, I can get through that because of the great things that are still happening, because I'm still alive, because I have the people around me, because I'm doing the things I am, because I'm trying to make him proud. And so, what I mean by that is like, even the relationship I have with my mom or my granny or my granddad who passed away is I know how much they mean to me, but no matter what happens in life, I cannot let myself get down to that low point again because life does still move on and you find a way to get through those hard times. And so it's shifting that mindset to still love that person unconditionally, but realizing that, you know, life does happen, people get older and things do happen, to not let it resort to the way I got with my dad. And so, even though I still have a strong connection with my mom and my sister and all of these people that mean so much, I had to kind of like separate that a little bit. So that way I don't go back to that mindset. And I think it's just going through a tragedy or like you did a breakup in the beginning. Like everybody's been through that one breakup. Everybody's been through that second breakup. Everybody's been through that third. And each one fucking sucks in its own special way. But there is a path to go a special way. I don't know if it's really special. um, but there is a path forward. And like you said, it's having that mindset and realizing like what are the positives out of this situation. And I think you're doing a very good job at looking at that, because you could simply focus on all the negatives or all of the things that you wish, you wish. But looking at the negatives or the things that you wish are never the solution to be able to move forward in the right direction and just keep all of the positive things that are going on in your life um, a center focus to keep moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, it's very easy to like go in a negative spiral, but at the end of the day, like whatever you focus your attention on is what you're going to attract. So like if you focus on the negative shit that's going on, like you're just going to have negative shit continue to happen to you. And it's only going to push you deeper and deeper in this hole. Like you're never going to focus on negative shit and things get great. Like it's
Hmm.
just not going to happen. But I feel like that's the problem with most people is something happens no matter what it is. And like so yeah, while those things are very different things, they are related in that sense. And that's pretty much anything bad that happens to you is related in that sense because everyone's going to react to it differently. But
Yeah.
I feel like once you have like the one once something happens like a really big one that's bad, it's easier to navigate everything else. And I think because it does give you perspective like that, where you can be like, okay, like I've been here before, I've gotten through this, like it's going to be okay. But I don't know. I guess there's people though who don't ever feel that way. Like I know people who just stay in it for years, dude. Like who something happens and now like that's an excuse for everything else in their life, which is the
Yeah.
complete wrong way to go about it. And I feel bad like saying that there's a right or a wrong way to go about it, but there is. Like there always is.
Yep.
Whether you want to admit it or not, or you want to see it or not, staying in a negative cycle is not going to be good.
No, it won't be. And life keeps moving. The sun goes up and down every single day. And too, it life is a lot better when you're fucking happy than sad.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I've been in my head lately just about like life, like doing this, doing that. Am I putting enough here? Am I putting enough there? Am I doing the right things there? But it's like just staying focused and being happy and appreciating the little things. And sometimes that's just that it's not fucking raining and you can go outside and enjoy the weather. But yeah, focusing on the positive is always a better outcome, and things transition a lot faster than if you were to just sit on the couch all day and stay in that rut because it's easy at that time.
Yeah. I think that what you just said about like, am I putting enough here? I think it's a very normal thing. A lot of people, am I doing enough? But the fact that you're asking that is a good sign. I feel like the people who aren't doing anything never say, am I doing enough? It's always people who are doing so much that still don't feel like they're doing anything. Because the person who just sits on the couch all day is comfortable doing that. They're not like, oh, am I doing this over here? Because they don't
Mhm.
care. They don't care. Like they don't see it like that. Which it's crazy to me how many people that is. Just literally just coast through life, dude. Go to work, come home, chill. That's it.
Yep.
That's it. Like that's probably 95% of people.
Yeah. Yeah. It's wild too. Just to see who those people also surround themselves with, because that mindset is derived off of something,
Yeah.
where like if we were like that, our friends would be instantly. And that's why I checked up on you. I know that you told me like, dude, I'm doing good, my family this and that, blah blah blah, but there's sometimes I just reached out like, hey bro, are you doing good? Like, is everything
Yeah.
still going good? And it wasn't to like get on you, but that's just like our friend group and how we operate is like we all know that we're trying to do so much and accomplish so much in this life, from our upbringing, not like specifically family, but just like the city we grew up in and like
Yeah.
wanting to make an impact on this world and all this stuff. So just checking in on your people, even if they tell you like, yeah, I'm good. Like you don't got to worry about me. Just still checking in and making sure like, hey, is the day still going good? Are you still pushing yourself in X, Y, and Z direction? Just because it is easy to fall off that wagon and let one little thing that you stop because of this hard time or transition period that you're in, it's easy to start going down that slope. So having those people and that motivation around you to be like, okay, I'm not going to quit because I know that Tone, Matt, and Freddie are going to check in on me and be like, no, get that ass off the couch or go and do
Yeah.
something. And so having that positive influence and mindset of people around you also goes a long way when you're going through situations.
Yeah. There was never a time where I was like, oh, I'm not gonna do XYZ. I wasn't like, oh, I'm not gonna go to the gym. Oh, I'm not gonna do DTI shit. Like that's the type of shit like I need to do.
Hmm.
Those are things that which I think we spoke about this on another episode. It's like when the shit is hard, like that's when you keep doing the normal things. Like you keep the routine because it lets you know that like everything, nothing really has changed.
Hmm.
While everything feels like it changed, like nothing else has changed. So it's just kind of going through the same routine, like keeping your habits in line because you did those things for a reason and they got you to this point. They're gonna keep pushing you through it again too.
Yeah. Talking about change and other things. The final the hurdle during this period. I think we can talk about it now.
Yeah, yeah. My 2 weeks is in.
There we go.
So, well, actually, I'm done. They
True.
said Put it in. They said, today's your last day. We'll pay you for 2 weeks. I'm like, bet. But so at the same time, this one has actually like kind of been ongoing since before the breakup, where the company I was with, things were going poorly and it was a very negative situation. And I could kind of see the writing on the wall, like they're pushing people out and things like that. But I was dragging my feet. I wasn't applying for or anything like that. I was like, whatever, like we'll see what happens when it happens, which I think was just being comfortable and knowing like, oh, there's somebody else also in the house. Like if I have to, like I'll go bartender, I'll serve, or like I'll do something, but like at least I
Mhm.
know like we're set. They want to cough in your ear there. But yeah, so I think that was a big reason was it's like, oh, Dami's here, like we'll be fine. Like we'll be able to navigate through it. But like I feel like the minute literally, dude, as soon as like we broke up, I was like, okay, I need to find a new job.
Yep.
And so I literally fucking applied to like 50 jobs in like 2 days. Just anything out there. I looked remote, sales, and I just applied to everything that was out there. And so literally in the span of probably a week or two, I was out of a relationship. I was accepting a new position and I'm deciding I'm moving across the country again. So there's probably there obviously there's more that could have changed.
Yeah.
Thankfully those things didn't happen. But yeah, so just a lot going on all at the
lot
same time.
lot going on, but all the answers are there. You got a place now. You got a
Mm-hmm.
job that's going to be able to make you support yourself here in Charlotte, North Carolina, and you got little Ziggy to keep you company during this
Yeah,
move.
true.
What are your
True.
thoughts on having a roommate when you're down here in Charlotte, North Carolina?
I'm actually not worried about it. I think that our personalities will mesh well. I don't think like we're really gonna clash that much. We'll see.
Yeah.
Obviously, things change when you're in that close proximity. But like I've had roommates before too. Like I
Yep.
lived with multiple guys at one point. I lived with one guy for a couple of years. So like I've been in positions where I had a roommate. Really, I've kind of always had a roommate if you count Dami. Like
Yeah.
I moved in with my friends when I first moved to Columbus, and then I was on my own for a little bit. But once her lease was up, she moved right in. So
Hmm.
it's like there's really hasn't been a ton of time where I was by myself. Maybe a year when I was in Illyria. That's about it.
Yep.
So like I've always lived with someone, and they're all very different people. So like it's just navigating. Literally, like within a week, though, you know, like how these people live and operate, and it's a lot easier to kind of go through things. But like I said, I think that we're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
It's not someone who I feel like, oh fuck, like I'm not dreading it at all. And we had this conversation the other day, actually, me and him, and he was like, yeah, even like the people I was in Arizona, we weren't. He was like, we weren't as close. He's like, we got close there. He's like, but me and you have been like really good fucking friends for like 5 years. He's like, we're gonna be. He's like, we've done trips together for weeks at a time. He's like, I think we're gonna be fine. And I feel the same way.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of people that I'd be like, all right, dude, we're 30. Let's go get a place together.
Yep.
But he's one of them who I'm like, all right, like I think we'll be fine.
There it is. So what's your mindset when you get to North Carolina? Is it going to be one of those things where you kind of explore the town like you did after your last breakup and you kind of let loose a little bit, or are you trying to dial things in and
Um, like I said, I want it to be a nice balance. I think like that's like the thing that I'm trying to find right now is like how do I balance both? Because I'm very like all or nothing. I'm like 0 to 100. Like, am I gonna stop drinking altogether, or am I gonna go on a fucking week long bender?
Mhm.
Like, it's hard for me to balance it in and out. But I think I'm actually getting there. Like I told you yesterday, I was like, dude, I fucking actually went out. I only had a few beers, came home, no hangover, woke up and went to the gym.
Yep.
So like, there's never gonna be a time where like I'm not gonna like go out and explore the town. So I am excited to like see a new city, but like my daily routine's not gonna change.
Yeah.
Like first order of business is finding a gym, which obviously like you guys have gyms, so it's gonna be easy for me to like go check those out.
Mhm.
But that's always number one priority, and then everything else will fall into place from there. But yeah, just get out, see what the city's like. I want to get a run club going, so we'll see. I'm excited.
There we go. You can get the run club going and I'll get a bike club going.
Yeah, there you go. I'm gonna infiltrate someone else's run club and then just fucking convert them.
There we go. There's enough of them. I got a whole
Mhm.
flyer list from the shoe place that I went to.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And we can cut this and then we can sign out. I don't know what else to ask in
What do you
terms
mean we
of
can cut this?
like this little snippet because I don't know where to pick up
Oh,
from here if we should continue. I feel like that was a good update on the things that have been going on.
yeah.
And so I don't know if we should transition or if we should go into another topic or cut
What do
it.
you want to transition into?
That's what I'm asking.
Oh, I thought like you had something.
No,
I'm
I
like,
don't
oh,
have
cool.
nothing.
Oh no, I mean, we kind of went long on the last one, so I'm cool leaving it here. But none of this is getting cut, by the way. This is all going in.
Oh, great. Well, folks, that'll do it. As we discussed prior to this, to even lead up to this episode, is that we want to keep this as authentic and as real as possible. And Dylan is going through major life changes,
I
even
didn't
though
cry.
that's a fact.
I'm really not emotional about it. I don't think right now.
Yeah. And two, Dylan is very like, it takes a lot for him, I feel like, to express some sort of emotion. He's not a very emotional type of guy. At least I've never seen that side.
That's wild, bro. I used to cry at everything.
Really?
Like, yeah, it's a very known thing about me.
Oh, I didn't know that. I don't think I've ever seen you cry.
That's kind of crazy.
But we always talk about the good things. We always talk about the habits as if these are simple things to keep in place. But we want to be authentic and real and tell our life stories and let you guys know that like we too go through shit. And that's the reason we can talk on stuff is because of our life experiences and what we're going through. And so touching on this is important just because it shows you that having the right habits, discipline, and mindset in place goes a long way for when these life altering decisions come or when you reach a roadblock in life. Staying positive, and even when you want to wake up and be negative, having that positive outlook, having that positive mindset to just keep pushing forward. And all of the good in that shitty situation will come out. It might just take a little bit of time. But again, that's where the effort comes in. That's where the mindset comes in. And that's where the discipline comes in. So always have the desire to inspire to be better each and every day, no matter the situations you're going through. And if there's something weighing on your mind, figure out what that is and then work towards it. That is a main reason where people get anxious, they get depressed. It's because of those unsolved things or those untailored things that you have going on in your head that you're not putting that effort towards. So at the end of the day, work on you, be positive, be happy, have the desire to inspire, tell your mama hello, and we will talk to you later. It's on.